Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2013. If you're listening to this on the radio and want to watch it, go to www.catex.com. There was a very strong earthquake in the central Philippines this morning. At least 95 people have been reported killed, at least 100 others are injured by debris coming from falling buildings. It was a 7.2, which is not inconsiderable by any means. It struck near Cebu City in the central part of the country, about 240 miles southeast of the capital of Manila. Local radio stations are reporting numerous fatalities. Tuesday, fortunately, was a national holiday. It was the Muslim holy day of Eid, and that may have reduced casualties because schools and offices were closed. Reports are indicating that churches from the 17th century have been destroyed. Several concrete buildings have collapsed. The fatalities so far are supposedly relegated to a two-story concrete building in Cebu City. There's more news coming out, but it's a little bit scattered at the moment. The main Cebu International Airport was closed as a result of cracks to the runway, but was apparently repaired, and now Air Force planes and relief supplies are being landed there. The President of the Philippines, Benigno Aquino III, said he's going to travel there today. So we'll keep an eye on that. Because it was in the central part of the country, it was not offshore, and thus there was no tsunami warning. So there was no tidal wave coming. In the United States, the end may be in sight, possibly, for the government shutdown and the debt limit. The United States Senate seems to have reached an agreement between Majority Leader Reid and Minority Leader McConnell. They're briefing their respective members today. They probably will pass it tomorrow in the Senate, and then it has to go to the House of Representatives. The response so far from the Tea Party people in the House of Representatives about the deal that's been worked out in the Senate is, quote, "We've got a name for it in the House. It's called the Senate Surrender Caucus. Anybody who would vote for that in the House as a Republican would virtually guarantee a primary challenger." Well, in my opinion only, it's about time that the people who are afraid of primary challengers say to them, bring it on. Those Tea Party people were routed in the last presidential election. Their approval ratings stand at 20% overall in the country. Their time has come and gone. Let the primary come. This bill should pass. Regarding Tower Group, the company that's in big trouble as a result of its lowered rating, people are now beginning to look at the directors and officers cover that the group had. AIG, ACE, CNA, and Chubb are among the insurers that could take a financial hit as shareholder lawsuits begin to come. Earlier this month, of course, Tower said it would take a $365 million reserve charge following an external actuarial review that led to the stripping of its rating. According to sources, Tower has a $100 million director and officers program in place with $50 million of excess above that protects directors and officers from personal liability. So there's probably $150 million there that can be attached by shareholders should they bring suits. Of course, one of the industry's legends, Bill Berkley, said that more reinsurers and insurers are likely to suffer the same kind of financial crises that have engulfed Tower Group because they have not responded quickly enough to the low interest rate environment. He said that some companies underestimated the scale of the price rises needed to compensate for lower investment returns in 2008. And now they're paying the price. Berkeley's been saying this since 2008, and as usual, he's right. There's a wave of defections going on from John Charman's old company, Axis Capital, to his new company, Endurance. Axis Capital's most senior reinsurance executives and several colleagues, one of them at least, have left to take up a new role with rival Endurance. Chris Donnellan, President and Chief Underwriting Officer of Axis Re in the United States, is understood to have resigned yesterday. He's expected to resurface at Endurance along with Senior VP Michael Fulkin, another senior underwriter, and two actuaries. Donnellan is well regarded in the professional lines and liability reinsurance sector. There was another dry ice bomb explosion at Los Angeles International Airport last night. Two more were found before they exploded. This is 24 hours after an initial dry ice explosion Sunday night. No injuries had been reported in either explosion, and the dry ice bombs had little impact on airport activity, but authorities are investigating how the devices got placed in secure areas, including outside the terminal near the airplanes themselves. Officials say they do not suspect terrorism at this time. The bombs are very simple, just dry ice in a bottle. Another bombing in Myanmar. This one is in Rangoon, Myanmar's biggest city, at an upscale hotel, injuring an American woman apparently. This is a third in a series of bombings that began on Friday, when an explosion killed 2 people. And then 2 more bombs exploded on Saturday, one at a bus stop and another one at a restaurant. So authorities are wondering what this is. Is it a terror wave or whatever, religious strife? And then last night, at a place called Tyler, Texas, about 95 miles southeast of Texas, an oil facility exploded. The facility is owned by the Vess Oil Corporation. It prompted a huge fire, apparently some 400, 500 feet high in the sky. It was brought under control after 2 hours. There were no damage to any places other than the facility, no evacuations or any injuries. We're going to keep an eye on Washington today and see what happens there. The International Monetary Fund, of all things, is meeting in Washington, D.C. this week. We're supposed to have a regular agenda talking about global economic problems. All they're talking about is the U.S. potential default. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.